base sa sinabi ni Mayor Magalong, it's as if lawmakers will be investigating their own.
Well, tingin ko hindi naman. Pero let me reiterate, the President and the House Speaker has already stated that investigations will be undertaken at the level of the DPWH and at the level of the House. No? So basically in pursuit of the presidential pronouncement yesterday. No? Pero I think very important before proceeding, maybe Mayor Magalong should show the evidence where the 30% actually is. No? Kasi parang it's very difficult, a bit unfair, no, to tag all congressmen to be receiving 30% and 40% in kickbacks in each and every infrastructure project. So he's been speaking so much already in the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months. But we have yet to see a single document, actually, that shows that, in fact, 30 or 40% had actually been received by a congressman or whichever legislator in the country.
He can be called in as a witness to testify in the investigation of the House?
I think he should. He should. And I think it's already a commitment that I think in the next couple of weeks, this investigation relating to infrastructure projects will be convened, probably by the House Committee on Public Accounts. So Mayor Magalong is free to attend. We'll invite him. He can make his case that, in fact, 30 to 40% had, in fact, been received by lawmakers. And he has to be able to name names, which lawmakers, which district, which party list actually received these funds from government contractors.
But Congressman, it's a known SOP that some lawmakers, I'm not saying all, choose their own contractors.
Well, I don't know. I don't know it for a fact because that's not what I've done in previous instances. So I think the allegation should be proved by the one who alleges it. So what I know, for example, in DPWH is they do the bid. There is a competitive bid there. If you win it, then you win it. If you lose it, then you lose it. So I think a full-scale investigation is actually warranted, whether it's undertaken by DPWH and whether it's undertaken by the House, or if the Senate would want it, then they should also do it.
Congressman Terry, this is Sean. There are a lot of loopholes when it comes to procurement. We do know, of course, there are some sitting lawmakers that their families are also into the contractor business, kumbaga, not just for construction of infrastructure, but even, you know, supplying laptops, office supplies, school supplies, etc. How do you propose, now we close that loophole so this doesn't happen anymore?
Well, to be very clear, the procurement rules and procurement law is clear, no? They're not supposed to be in the contracting business if they're serving as legislators, no? So, isabihin, if their names are in the board of directors, if they're in the leadership management team of a government contractor, they should be taken out, they should be disqualified. And if they're participating in all of these contracts, they should in fact be blacklisted in the soonest time. No? So I think we don't need new laws for this. What we need would be actual whistleblowers that will basically tell government today, who are these people that are engaging with government? Are they actually giving money to legislators? We'd like to see that in the investigation in the House.
That's Senate President Chis Escudero in a press con earlier today. He said he's planning to propose a bill that will disallow relatives up to fourth level of consanguinity from, bidding against government projects or procurement situations. Do you support that, or would you be willing to support that in the lower house?
Well, we'll support it, but I think we have to be very clear. I think in the procurement laws, it's already there that government relatives, those that are basically connected to legislators, implementing agencies, cannot participate in government contracts. So I don't think if we need a new law for it, we just need more people to actually enforce it at this point.
Well, sir, Mayor Magalong actually also pointed out that the selection of contractors doesn't happen in the level of the DPWH secretary, but rather with the district and regional engineers. And he says, if we really want to get to the bottom of this, it's the contractors who should speak up. Can we actually expect them to talk and expose the corruption happening?
Well, those that, for example, were disqualified from particular government bids can actually be the whistleblowers for this. No? If they have the evidence that these contracts had in fact been rigged by the district engineer, by the regional director, together with colluding government contractors. I think it's the losing contractors that can actually be the whistleblower in these particular contracts.
In your work, in your advocacy, what have you discovered about the relationship between contractors and government officials and legislators?
Well, I think we have to be very clear. We had history in 2013 where we had seen the PDAP scam. So I think that's something that we have to learn from. And if the lessons of the PDAP scam re-emerge again in these government contracts, I think we have to be ready to basically, put light into those that are actually involved and make them accountable.
We have also seen the rise of party list groups, those now sitting in Congress, who are actually contractors or funded by contractors.
Well, I don't know at this point, no? Because what I understand is that the party lists are supposed to be advocating for a region, a particular sector, no? But I think this is a concern by several advocate groups, no, that are looking for reforms in the party list law. So very important that we should be able to determine which contractors are these and whether or not they're actually involved in the party list election.
Balikan ko lang very quickly yung 2013 PDAF scam. You raised that example, so did that interview with Benji Magalong earlier on our sister show. Ang nagyari doon ay nakulong nga si Janet Napoles. Of course, she's really more of a middleman. Nakita natin what happened to the lawmakers who were involved. Pretty much they were let go. Some of them didn't even return the money that was ordered for them to be returned.
And were re-elected.
Yeah, so how hopeful are we that we actually really did learn from that experience?
Well, I think we have to be able to file better cases. So we have to file better evidence, no? And make sure that each and every person that are involved in rigged projects, whether he's a legislator, whether he's a government contractor, whether he's part of the implementing agency, should be able to made to account, no? So we have to learn from it, no? So it is true, no, that legislators that were involved in that PDAP scam are basically in the Senate again, diba? Mm-hmm. But I think if the president actually would want an all-seeking investigation into this matter, there should not be sacred cows.
Is the House of Congress or the Senate are they the appropriate bodies to investigate? Because lawmakers are involved.
Well, House can do it, DPWH can do it, no? Because we have the committees to do the investigation for all of these projects. So I think, for example, I'm speaking for myself. It is my commitment that when the inquiry is actually undertaken, we have to be able to ask the hard questions to whoever it is. If it's a legislator, then so be it. If it's like a government contractor, then so be it. If it's like a regional director or a district engineer, then so be it.
Well, Congressman, among the favorite projects daw po for overpricing include flood control programs, asphalt laying, pati solar light projects. But what about the Dolomite Beach in Manila? I believe you did file that resolution to investigate itong Dolomite Beach. What are you hoping to find?
Well, firstly, we'd like to be able to know whether it's necessary in the first place to have spent 389 million into just placing sand along Manila Bay and not actually contributing to improving the water quality, which is basically an obligation under the continuing mandamus of the Supreme Court. No? So I think that's the first question. But second of all, it's a question on price. So we'd like to be able to know whether or not the price is basically overpriced or whether it is more or less reasonable in comparison to similar projects here and abroad.
Are you also going to be investigating what happened to the Manila Bay rehabilitation project, which I believe that beach was a part of, as well as the many, many reclamation projects going on there?
Well, I think that the first part of the inquiry relating to Manila Bay would include the Dolomite Beach. The second would be relating to the flood control. So irrespective of whatever the President said or whatever the House said, I think it's a direction to actually look into flood control projects not just in Metro Manila but around the country. And the third aspect of inquiring into the Manila Bay floods would be obviously the status of ongoing and future reclamation in Manila Bay, on whether or not government should continue to allow future reclamation, or whether or not we should just let the ongoing reclamation be the last of the reclamation project.
All right. Well, we wish you luck and hoping for a credible investigation into these issues. Thank you for joining us in The Big Story, Congressman Terry Ridon.